explain to us what is the definition of flow?
So I'll give you the technical definition and then I'll explain what we're
Great.
talking about, right? Um, so the technical definition is an optimal state of consciousness where we feel our best and we perform our best.
Mm,
So that means, and psychologists did this, they ran around the world and they asked tens of thousands of people, tell me about the times in your life when you felt your best and you performed your best. And what they described is an altered state of consciousness we call flow. More specifically, flow refers to any of those moments of rapt attention and total absorption where you're so focused on the task at hand, what you're doing, everything else just seems to disappear.
mm,
So, time dilates, which is a really fancy word for saying it
yes.
passes strangely, right? It slows down. You get a freeze from effect, maybe in a car crash, or it speeds up. More commonly, 5 hours will pass by in 5 minutes, right? You're talking to your best
Mm,
friend, get so
mm,
lost in the conversation, and the whole afternoon disappears, and you're like, what the heck happened, right? Same experience, just sort of different ends of the spectrum. Um, and throughout, besides time dilation, you also get your sense of self vanishes. You really just get so focused on the moment. But more importantly, all aspects of performance, both mental and physical, go through the roof. So that's sort of the colloquial definition. When psychologists define flow, there's 6 characteristics of the state: time dilation, the vanishing of self, complete concentration in the present moment, and so forth.
yeah.
They measure those. You want to measure flow, you look at these 6 characteristics, how much of them have showed up during a given experience. That's how you do that. Neurobiologically, when scientists, when my colleagues and myself, when we talk about flow, we're talking about a huge shift in physiology and neurobiology. Everything changes in the brain. The parts of the brain that are lit up, the networks that are active, the neurochemicals present, brain waves, everything kind of really shifts. And flow seems to have a very precise signature. And it's gotten to the point that we now know it's not totally validated yet, but there was some work that came out of the Karolinska Institute that shows, for example, your frown muscles appear to be paralyzed in flow and your
Really?
smile muscles are hyperactive. Yeah, not completely paralyzed, but really downregulated. So it's a lot harder to to frown and flow, and it's a lot easier to smile, and your eyes are lit up and everything else like that. That needs to be looked at again, but it showed up in a couple of studies, and at the collective, we're at the front end of like a 3-year research project that's going to look at that among other signals. So yeah, we've gotten really precise in understanding what it is too.
Would you look at the times, I mean, I'm sure you're in flow majority of your life now that you know all about it, but, when you were just talking then, I was thinking about the times potentially that I've been in flow. Would they be some of the happiest times in your life?
Yeah, so it's a great question and it's really interesting. Um, they would absolutely be some of the happiest times in your life, literally by definition. And let me explain what I mean.
Mm,
When first of all, we've known since the 70s, for example, that if you measure life satisfaction, overall well-being, meaning and purpose, the really heavy happiness metrics, right? Not like how do you feel right now, but the
yeah.
how does your life feel? People who score off the charts for all those metrics are always the people with the most flow in their lives. So what's happened since then is psychologists now split happiness into 3 possible tiers. There's happiness. How do you feel right here, right now, moment
Mm,
by moment? And there isn't, by the way, a whole lot you can do at that level. Like Dan Harris has talked about 10% happier, and he's
mm.
right. Like you can use mindfulness techniques, you can use gratitude techniques, reframing, positive self thought. You can get 10% happier at that level, but not a whole lot more for a bunch of nature nurture reasons. The next level up is called enjoyment or engagement. It's literally a high flow lifestyle. And above that, the best you get to feel on this planet, definition of happiness is purpose. And it's a high flow lifestyle where the thing that is producing flow is attached to something that is greater than yourself.